see that it's been quite a while since your first consultation. What made you decide to take the leap today?
A lot is going on in my life. I don't want to miss anything.
When we're done, you'll have perfect vision. Do you know what? My assistant's giving me an incomplete file. I'll be right back.
Hold on, you're leaving? Is that supposed to be happening?
You're not supposed to be here. You were supposed to die on that bridge. A lucky few survive the disaster. And then one by one, death comes for them all.
Are you saying that we can't stop this?
There's an answer for everything.
It's kill or be killed.
Nobody's safe!
Oh my god!
I'm gonna be watching, and the same day I'm gonna be talking about a movie I've never ever seen. Some I'll be watching on my laptop, some on my tablet, some on my TV, and some of them I'll see on the big screen. It's movie month time, what a way to make a podcast. Yes, it's all month long, from the 1st of June to the last. I will watch a film and then I will talk about it. It's 30 movie days of fun, 'cause there is no June 31.
Happy Wednesday, everybody. It is Wednesday, June 24th, which means for the 24th day in a row, I watched a movie I've never seen before. And for the 24th day in a row, I am here podcasting about it to a select few of you survivors, you people who have made it through 24 days of movie month. Were you supposed to? Should you be here? Should you have bailed by now? It doesn't matter, because movie month will always find you. Movie month will always catch up with you, and you will have to hear my voice. That is the rule of things. I had so much fun watching today's movie. So much fun watching the 5th movie in a series, Final Destination 5. This is my second Final Destination this year. Last year I did the first 3. Then we did the Final Destination. And now we have Final Destination 5. It seems like the Final Destination was supposed to be the last one, but I think it did so well. They were like, you know what, let's do another one. And, I texted my friend right away. I said, wait, is Final Destination 5 great? And no, it's a great Final Destination movie. I will say that. And I had a ball watching it, even though I'm like, this is annoying. And why does that guy have a flip phone in 2011? That doesn't make any sense. Oh, was I wrong? Because I am so glad. And look, I'm going to this movie is 15 years old. and it's the 5th in a series. If you haven't been here long enough, to movie month, I'm talking about the movie. So if you don't want to know anything about this movie, I would stop now. All right, I've given you enough warning. So I'm very glad I didn't even notice in the first paragraph of the Wikipedia page that it gives away the big twist, which to me brought the whole thing together. It just I enjoyed it. I was like, I'm enjoying this. I'm enjoying how uncomfortable it's making me. I'm enjoying how skeeved out I am. I'm enjoying how ridiculous this is. And then to me, that ending, I was like, wait, what? This and I actually said out loud to myself watching this going, oh, wouldn't that be amazing if this was, oh my God, it is. They're actually doing it. This is awesome. So it runs the same kind of basic formula of Final Destination. A big accident happens. I mean, really the most boring of the accidents was the first one. The plane crash did look pretty spectacular actually in the original. I shouldn't say that. Then the vision happened. It's been so long. I thought the plane just took off and exploded. No, it looked pretty gruesome. But second one to me is still the best. That accident was ridiculous. It was so well staged. It felt very like a lot of practical effects, even though I'm sure there was a lot of digital stuff there. The third one with the roller coaster was probably the second best. The car crash last year was the problem was the last year with part 4, The Final Destination. The problem for me was I thought the digital effects were lacking when it came, I guess I thought to have to deal with the 3D. Now this movie was shot in 3D too. Not 3D 2 is not a thing. It was shot in 3D also, but it was a couple years later. So maybe they just advances in effects by then. The digital effects could look better because The Final Destination, a lot of those effects were not great. I watched it this year and I'm trying to think. So it was the NASCAR accident, which, in actuality, if you just think of the things that happened, it was pretty wild. And then you see all the deaths happening. So there's the redneck guy, and then other people died. The girl got the tire outside of right outside the racetrack. I'm trying to think, and I can't really remember. Oh, the pool and the car wash. Yeah, okay. There was some fun stuff in that one too. But as I said, this movie they're basically comedies now. They're graphic, violent comedies with a little, the scariness is not in the fright or the horror. It's the scariness is the anticipation. And they've learned now, because I don't even know if they did this in the first one, but they really have found the right niche, the right groove of, oh, that's what's going to kill them. No, it isn't. You try to figure out, wait, what's it going to be? The whole thing with the gymnastics and the, there's a screw that falls and it lands on the balance beam. What's that? That's the balance beam, right? And you keep waiting for the girl to step on it. Now, that's not going to kill you. But the thought of that had me skeeving the whole time, had me cringing, because stepping on something like that in my foot is just, there were so many of those little things that these movies and this movie hit in the right spot, the foot. Then you have the eye, the stuff with the eye. I was like, oh my God, why are you doing this? Oh God. And just the guy getting acupuncture and then falling on. I mean, this was, they had some, it's not like all the kills were that imaginary. They weren't imaginative all that much. And the beginning accident looked good. But it was, and you know what? Actually, the idea of a bridge collapsing is frightening too. The fact that you're kind of powerless. I mean, there was a lot of things that were hitting me in the right, just almost like not quite phobias, but close to it. I go to the eye doctor and They put the drops in and they put the thing right up against you. Now, what if he leans forward and just goes, achoo, and it knocks it into your eyeball? I mean, that's great. Now I'm going to be thinking that the next time I go to the eye doctor. So they have the big accident at the beginning. Now this, it felt like it took forever to get there. The setup was like, okay, like, you know, again, I said, is this a great movie? No, but is it a great Final Destination movie? I think so. The opening credits took forever. I felt like they were so long, and that was the first clue because there were so many things jumping at you. I was like, okay, this movie obviously was shot in 3D, made for 3D. Then we go to a company retreat for the company Presage, which I think actually is like Premonition. I think the name of the massage parlor was meant Destiny in if you translated it to English. So there were little things that, you know, they threw out there. So we have this opening and we find out all these young people work together. One guy is the boss of another guy who really wants to be a chef. And yet he's dating an intern, so that's a little weird, who's in college as a gymnast. That girl is actually a real gymnast. Then this main guy, he's dating this girl who wants to break up with him. And the reason she wants to break up with him, we find out, is that he's this great chef. And what he does, he works as a chef at night, and he really wants to be a chef and pursue chefery. So he has the option to go to Paris. Now, again, why didn't I make that connection right away? Paris, I get to go to Paris, going to Paris, going to be a chef in Paris. And again, I don't want to even get to the ending till we get to the ending, but that's your first clue right there. So that's the beginning of the movie where there's a little, like, he's like, huh, you want to break up with me? They're all going on a company retreat. And it said the company that was putting on the retreat was like, their name was like 180 corporate retreats or something. And you know, okay, we're finally getting to the point where the accident is like, let's go, let's get right to it. This is what we need to see. The big giant, like, tentpole, just action, accident, disaster moment, that is, no less violent than anything else. I mean, this time it's a bridge collapsing, and the first girl falls onto the mast of a sailboat going by. Another girl falls and she survives. Then a car falls and crushes her. I mean, oh my God! Another guy gets wiped out by a falling chain that's like a swing on a hook on a chain. The best was David Koechner's in this. He plays the boss. Oh, excuse me, I'm yawning. David Koechner plays the boss of this company. His death was, he's like hanging on for dear life, and then this oil spills on him and burns him to death. Like, that was gross. This other guy who, PJ Byrne, he's been in a bunch of things. Wolf of Wall Street, he was in that. And he's like a recognizable character actor. Oh, Babylon. I remember he was in that too. So I was like, I know I've seen him in things recently. He's been in a few episodes of The Boys. So I definitely know him. I've seen him in things, but he was like the director of the fake movies in The Boys. Like he can play like a dinky douchebag pretty good. So he went to the bathroom on the bus, and then on the way, and he seems to be a ladies' man. He's calling all these different ladies, which is funny because he's kind of nerdy looking. And he's on the bus as it collapses, and it seemed like he was the only one left. So he was the only, wait a minute. Okay, so he was the only one left on this version of the bus because he's rolling, and then the bus crashes and he dies with it. And then the other, like, there was a girl, there were a couple main girls. Like the first, well, I guess there were 3 main girls and 3 main guys. So the first girl was the gymnast. She died on the mast of the plane. Then there was the guy who got the hook that swung. Now he works in the factory, and like he's the young new boss that nobody likes. Then there was the girl who, like, I guess maybe she's the party girl. She is the one who had the car fall on her. Now, what's dumb, see, and I'm pointing out dumbness too, is the first thing we see her is she getting out of a van with a guy, and she doesn't have her glasses on, and he's like, don't forget your glasses. He's like, she doesn't like the way they make her look, so she doesn't wear them around this guy. And turns out like later her glasses get on the bridge, her glasses get knocked off, and now she's blind. Suddenly she can't see a thing. She's like, where am I? Where am I doing? I'm road hog. She turns into Mr. Magoo. Boom, 5 minutes before she's on the, now was she that bad that she just didn't want to, she didn't look like she was stumbling around at the beginning. Now maybe I missed that. So she gets the car falling on her. Then you got the best friend of the main guy, who's also his boss, but his friend. And he kind of has that like high school bully movie look, even though these guys are all in their 20s and 30s and working now, even though he's dating a college intern, a little weird at his business. He gets a pipe through him, which was pretty gross. Then the main guy gets sliced in half as the vision goes away, but he did save his girlfriend, the same girl who was going to be leaving him. He saved her, so she got away. Then he wakes up on the bus, has the vision, and he freaks out. All he gets is Molly off. He gets his girlfriend off. The boss says, you know what, go after her. So that sends the friend. Then the girlfriend of the friend, who's the intern, she goes. Then it's all the people that we needed to see get off. So it's like the main guy, his girlfriend, the two friends, and the two girls. So they all get off. David Koechner gets off, and that guy, PJ Byrne, he gets off. They all get off as now the bridge is starting to collapse, but they're able to run this time. So they don't avoid it completely. They run, and the bridge collapses, and they're like, what? How did you know that? He goes, I don't know. And the other person in this who needed to know what was going on was Agent Block, played by Courtney B. Vance. I was like, wait, Courtney B. Vance is in this movie? Like, what is he doing in Final Destination 5? So he plays this FBI agent who's like, there's got to be a connection. What is it? I don't know what's going on here. You like, how did you know about, oh, not the connection first. First is like, how did you know the bridge was going to collapse? What, like, his girlfriend's leaving him, right? Like, he starts to think maybe that he caused this, but it turns out the reports came back really quick. It was just structural damage, so they're all free to go. So they have a memorial at a funeral for like, they say 50 people or 80 people, like a bunch of 30 people. I don't know. A lot of people in the business died. And these are the only few who made it. And David Koechner starts reading names, but he reads the name of Isaac, who's that guy, PJ Byrne. He's like, wait, did you just say my name? And people are like laughingly. He doesn't even know. He's like, remember this guy? And he's trying to sound so sincere, but he's reading people he has no idea are actually still alive. And then we start seeing the deaths happen. So and it's the misdirection. So the gymnast, she's afraid. She doesn't want to be, gymnasticking. And that's when so we see this air conditioner. We're thinking, oh, it's going to fall on her. We see a screw fall. Okay. Oh, she's going to step on the screw. No, she doesn't step on the screw. Okay. So she goes and works on the uneven bars, and another girl steps on the screw. She falls over, knocks over chalk. The chalk hits the fan. The fan, because they even like misdirect us to the fact that she might get electrocuted. So the chalk goes into the fan, and the fan blows the chalk all over the place. That distracts the main girl as she's doing her landing. She lands wrong, and her entire body explodes. Like, she lands in such a way that her back breaks and just blood, and she just dies instantly. Like, it was like, what the F? Dead. Boom. And her boyfriend's like, oh my God, I shouldn't have had you do that. That's crazy. This is awful. And then they're, at work the next day, and he's like, what is he doing here? He's like, I needed to just, to distract myself. So they're all drinking at work because half the people there are dead. And then the guy PJ is the guy Isaac, played by PJ. He's like, oh, I miss these people so much, but he's actually going through their desks, stealing their change, and he sees a coupon to a massage place. So he goes to the massage place. This is all happening while they're still at work. He goes to the massage place, and he thinks he's going to get a happy ending, or he's very sexist to the woman there. It's an attractive woman. He's like, oh, hi. But an older woman ends up giving him a massage, ends up giving him acupuncture. And my wife did a little acupuncture. She said it helped with her back a little bit. But this guy was all filled up with needles, and he had his flip phone. I was like, again, a flip phone in 2011? That's weird. And his flip phone is, first the incense melts burns a towel and a fire starts. So he tries to get off this table and he falls flat on all the needles go into him. Like he's not dead, but it's like gross. Then like all this oil falls on the ground and you think a candle's going to fall and it starts a fire and it does, and it gets really close to him. And you think, oh my God, that's going to kill him. No. Oh, good. And then a shelf falls and a Buddha statue falls and crushes his head. And that's how he dies. Now, mind you, the friends show up right outside where the death is, and there's Agent Block again. He's like, what's going on? How do you know this was going to happen? Like, what are you talking about? How could we know anything going on here? Then they see Tony Todd. Now they saw Tony Todd. This is for some reason, Tony Todd was at the funeral, procession. Then he was at the gymnastics thing. Then he was at the massage parlor. And the first thing he said to them at the cemetery is like, "Death doesn't like to be cheated," or whatever, some line like that. And like, excuse me, sir, what? Then the other death, he just looks at them. And then this time they finally confront him. He goes, "I don't know anything. I'm just here doing my job." And he shows he's a coroner. And he's like, "All I know is I've seen this before. And people survive a major accident they weren't supposed to. They weren't supposed to survive. And it seems like the only, death comes back to get them. And it seems like the only way that you could stop them is to take a life for a life. Death wants a life, so he gets the life. And maybe you could have your life if you take the life of another life." Like, very much like, let me try to explain it. And they're like, wait, if we kill someone, we can live? Like, it's all just accepted. Again, like I said, is this a great movie? I'm not saying it's a great movie. I'm just enjoying the ride. And then, so they're starting to figure out, like, wait a minute, we're all dying here. Now, who was the next person to die? They go, oh, wait a minute. The next one was Olivia, which is the girl with the glasses who went to get LASIK surgery just right away. Like, I think she left and goes, "I have to go get LASIK surgery." This is all seems like it's taking place within a 3-hour span from the accident to the LASIK surgery. And meanwhile, what's weird is the death. Oh, wait a minute. I feel like the death of the gymnast, and then a lot of time passes, and then later the cop, David Koechner, calls the cop and he's like, "Yeah, some of these people are acting a little weird." And he's at the gymnast's death, blood still stained all over the ground. I feel like a day has passed and they hadn't cleaned it up. Like, it seemed like weird timing, weird editing. So, okay, where was I? So they rush to the LASIK. She's getting LASIK surgery. Obviously, the guy's like, "Wait a minute, where's my secretary? I'll be right back." He leaves the room, and somehow a plastic cup, a lot of things get shorted. Like electricity, if you pour water on something, it will kill you. So the water hits the wire turns the laser up to like 7. Like, apparently this laser can turn up enough to shoot through you. It can kill you. You'd think, I need a laser eye surgery. Well, what should it be set at? It should be at a 3. Okay, then what's the maximum we should have it at? Let's make it a 10 just in case. Like, why not make the most powerful that the laser can be safe to do laser surgery? And that's it. Nothing more. You don't need to, shoot anything out of the sky. And yet this thing gets cranked up and starts ripping through her eye, then ripping through her hand, but she gets off the table before it kills her. And they come back and, the friends rush there. They're like, "Doctor, someone's going to die." He's like, "What are you talking about?" Then they hear screaming. They rush in and she goes, "Oh my God." She gets off the table, she screams, and then jumps out the window, falls out the window. I don't know. But that was an interesting fall too, because we see it we kind of see the landing. That was well done. Like, I don't know if I've seen something like that. You see the impact. It was like, ooh, it was, again, well done. It definitely stood out to me. So now we have 3 people dead and 4 people left. And they're like, wait a second, who's next? Now they realize the guy Nathan is next. He's the guy who works he works in the warehouse. And Buddy was going on the retreat because somebody in the warehouse needed to go on the retreat. And he's like the supervisor, but all the older guys don't like him and they're jerks to him. I thought they were going to be racist to him. It doesn't seem like they were, so that's good. So this guy, we think he's next. And so now we see him in the warehouse talking to this guy who's disrespecting him the whole time. And a big accident happens. And this guy dies instead of him. So he's like, oh my God, I bypassed him. I gave death a life. Maybe I did do it. Maybe I actually killed him. I can't believe it. But they're like, you son of a, like the guy Miles is losing his mind. His girlfriend's dead. He realizes he's next. And now this guy gets to live. He's like, this is not fair. Now there's only 3 of them left. So the main guy is Sam. And I know that's because I have it in front of me. The main guy, his whole thing is he's a chef and he's about to go to Paris. He reconciles with his girlfriend and he says, I'm taking the Paris internship. I'm going to be the apprentice. And I want you to come with me. And she's like, that would be wonderful. Then this guy Miles shows up and he's like, and he goes, guys, I'm losing it. I thought I could I kill a perfectly good stranger? So that I could live. I couldn't do it. I just don't know if they deserve to die. I don't know that. They don't deserve to die. I don't deserve to die. Sam, you don't deserve it. Molly, you don't deserve to die either. But it doesn't mean you deserve to live. Then he takes a gun out. Then we have an action sequence. So Miles is thinking if he kills Molly, wait a minute. Peter. Okay, Miles is the actor's name. Peter. If Peter kills Peter Friedkin, they actually gave him the last name Friedkin for whatever reason. If Peter kills Molly, then he gets to live. Okay. So he shows up and he shoots a gun. Now the shots are heard because the cop is still following them. He says, I don't think you did this, but something weird's going on here. And they even say, we think death's coming to get us. He's like, I don't know about that, but something weird's going on here. So he still follows them. He hears the gunshot. He goes into the restaurant. There's a big fight ensuing where the cop shows up and then he's like, don't worry, I'm here. And then Miles, bang, 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 kills the cop. Wait a minute. Yes, Miles kills the cop. That's right. And then Molly goes, you did it. You survived now. You're going to live. You took Agent Block's life for a life. You've given he gave your life. So now you can live his life. And he's like, that's right. But I can't let anyone know that I killed an agent. So he goes to kill her anyway. Then you got the main guy comes in, fight. And finally we see him working with these like giant skewers and he skewers this Peter and kills him dead. Then Nicholas, the main guy, and the girl was supposed to live the whole time. She'd never died in the original Vision. So you have the girl, you have the friend, Nathan, he survived because he got that other guy to die. And now you have Sam, who now thinks he survived because he got this guy to die. And then a gunshot goes off and it misses him. And he's like, I guess we are able to survive. Then the movie gets great to me because it says 2 weeks later and they're boarding a plane to Paris. They're going on the apprenticeship. Now, mind you, 2 weeks seems like an awfully short time between you being in a violent act that results in the death of a friend and the death of an agent. Now you might need to testify, you might need to be brought in for something, yet 2 weeks later, you're off leaving the country. So that part seems ridiculous. It should have been 2 months, 3 months, whatever. It should have been longer. They could have made it longer. They didn't. That's fine. So they're getting on the plane to Paris. And my first thought was, oh, wouldn't that be awesome if the plane they're actually on is, and then it was. We see the fight from the very first Final Destination movie. We see the fight that some of the guys were getting in that got them kicked off the plane and survive in the first place because the first guy had that Devon Sawa was like, I have a vision, we have to get off the plane, and fights happen and they all get thrown off. Those are the people that survive. And we see that, and then I'm thinking, oh my God. And then they show the ticket. He looks at his ticket and we see it's 2000 and it's flight 180. And you realize there wasn't a mistake with the phone, the flip phone. There was not. They didn't have iPhones in 2000. They had cell phones, and that's why this guy had an older cell phone. It wasn't a mistake. It was a clue. And I guess there were other clues where they showed the guy earlier in the movie, they had an expiration date on something. It said 2001. Like, I said, oh my God, this entire thing took place before the first movie. So when Tony Todd said, I've seen this kind of thing before, you think he's talking about the other movies. He's not. He's talking about the fact that this has happened before, and they're the first. Now they're technically the first that we've seen, but they're not the first. And the first movie obviously wasn't the first. And like, I guess even in the first movie, he already kind of knew stuff, and he knew stuff because of these people. And it just was crazy. And then all of a sudden the flight takes off, and someone was like, what was that whole fight about? And the stewardess was like, well, I don't know. One of the guys got really upset because he had a vision that something bad was going to happen, and he had to get off the plane. And the main guy, Sam's like, wait, what? And then he's looking around, and then not 2 seconds later, an engine goes on fire. Things start falling. The side of the plane rips out. His girlfriend gets sucked out, and then he just burns up in the fire, and it is the end. And then AC/DC starts playing, and I was just like, if I was in the theater, if I watched all these movies and I was in the theater, I would have gone bonkers. Like how much I loved that ending. Like I've become a fan of this series, but I didn't watch it, with I would say growing up, but I didn't watch it with the, along with the fans of the movies. Like the first movie came out in 2000. So this is 11 years after the first movie. So there have been fans of this series at that point for 11 years watching this, being like, whoa, that must have been like incredible to especially people who like really love it. And now they wait 14 years for part 6. And as far as I'm pretty sure there's more coming, because part 6 did well too. So obviously I don't say obviously, but I'm telling you now, spoiler alert, I'm not doing Final Destination Bloodlines today or this month. This is the last Final Destination for the year. In fact, I don't think I'm doing any continuing series that I've already started. I don't think that I've done this year. So like Now You See Me, that's next year. We're going to do that third one next year. Final Destination Bloodline, that's next year too. But that ending, and then the credits was almost like a retrospective, because really for 14 years, this was the end. And if this was the end, seems like a perfect ending. Like it turns out this whole thing was a prequel, and then you get this AC/DC friggin' great song, If You Want Blood, just great song. And then you get like this retrospective of all the kills from all the years of like 11 years of these movies. And I was just like, oh my God, it was so just well done. And am I reading correctly? There are novels and comics. Wait a second. Final Destination novels? No. Series of Final Destination books which can faithfully follow the premise of the film. Oh my goodness gracious. Wait, I'm looking right now. It says there are 9 novels. Am I going to read 9 Final Destination novels? Look, if you follow along outside of Fans Not Experts, outside of Movie Month, I have my own website, my personal website where I post about books I'm reading. I'm all over the place. I'll read a book that is, like new and well, like a popular series. And then I just read the novelization for friggin' Three Amigos. I'll read Happy Days novelizations. I just like reading, and I read books that are well received. I'm reading a book right now called The Pallbearers Club that I'm loving, but then I'll go off and read another Happy Days book. I want to find these novels. I like reading. That could be something. Wow. This is, my mind is blown right now. Am I a destined? Wait a minute. What would they call a final Wouldn't they call it a final stand? Destination? Final Destan? Final Destan. I don't know. Anyway, if this was the end, it was a perfect ending with all the deaths and everything. And just, I can't say enough how a certain thing can bring everything together. And like I said, this movie's okay. It hits all the beats. There's nothing spectacular about it. It does everything it needs to do. I think The actors were better than the last movie, which made it more fun, like David Koechner, PJ Byrne, even the main guy, Nicholas D'Agosto, whatever his name is, D'Agosto, yeah. I've seen, there was an old sitcom that he was in where he played a lawyer in this. It was like almost like a parody spoof, like slapstick, really funny show that wasn't on very long. Then he was on Gotham, and he played the Harvey Dent character for a little while in Gotham, which of course turns into Two-Face. And then I completely forgot, by the way, the plane crashes, right? Everyone dies. We cut back to the main guy. Remember that guy, Nathan, who survived the whole time, whose coworker died? He's at the memorial for the coworker, and the other friend's like, man, I can't believe it, but you know what? It's not. What's crazy is he had a brain aneurysm. Like he was about to have a brain aneurysm or something. They found something. He would have been dead in a couple days anyway. And I guess that matters because they're like, wait. He's like, what? And then all of a sudden, the plane crashes on him, and he dies. That's the ending. Then the Rock, because you get this little goofy, the plane crash. Then you get this little stinger where he dies too. Big explosion. I think a hand is flying at you because it's in 3D. Then we get the AC/DC. Oh my God. Just, I don't know why. I just really, this hit me right tonight. I can't believe I'm still talking about it this long. Yeah. Okay. I think I nailed it. I think I'm done. I'm going to get this out and up. And on the website, again, I still don't know why Tony Todd knows things, but I'm glad he does. God rest his soul. I don't know if they make it work in Bloodline. I don't know. I'll find out next year. Somehow, you never know. Nowadays, he could be in it somehow. I have no idea. But I will be watching that next year. But that's it for Final Destination this year. Big, exciting finish, and I'm excited. I'm so glad that I watched that today. It's a quick movie too, just like an hour and a half. When you take away the credits, like really just right to the point. Once you get through the long opening credits, it's like, let's go. I shouldn't say right to the point because I felt like it took a little while to get there. But once the kill happened, then you're ready to watch the dominoes fall, and they did before anything else. Ooh. Just made me feel good. All right, I will. Like I said, done here, but I will be back tomorrow talking another movie. And I hope you will be too. But until then, you can follow me on all the socials at Geek Mentality, except TikTok, which is Geek Mentality Mike. The Facebook page is Fans.Experts. The YouTube channel is Fans.Experts. That's because the website where all these friggin' podcasts can be found is fans.experts.com. Thank you for listening. Thank you for subscribing. I'll be back tomorrow. But until then, here is my theme song. This is my podcast, I made it. Geek Mentality's what I named it. And I think you should listen and subscribe, 'cause I'm kinda funny and awesome. I think that I'm worth your time, and I'm kinda handsome. My mom says, please listen and please subscribe. At least listen to this episode.
Fans Not Experts.